The important thing is what happens after this. There is a process we've outlined here on the show as this thing has sort of unrolled in front of our eyes. And you have to remember that a powerful Democrat doesn't just step down. A powerful Democrat can easily skate through a controversy like this in a lot of different circumstances. You've seen it happen over and over again. Need I remind you that the governor of Virginia is on photograph, on film, in blackface, and he's still in office. You know, you can get through a lot if you happen to be on the left, but it has to escalate from place to place. And the process we've outlined from the beginning was not complete until at least today. It starts off, of course, with Republicans. Republicans get pissed off about something. They want you out of office. Then it escalates to local Democrats. It's hard to get local Democrats who are under the arm, under the thumb, under his eye, if you watch Handmaid's Tale, under his eye, to get them to turn on him. They did that before. Then you needed to have the representatives of the state, people like the senators of the state, people like the congressmen of the state, coming out and saying, I want this guy out. After that, all that kind of happened beforehand. After that, it stopped. And there's two pieces of this left. The big name national out-of-town Democrats, and of course the President of the United States in this case is a Democrat. Those two boxes were not checked. Let me go through some of the people who made statements here. First, Bill de Blasio. Bill de Blasio hates Andrew Cuomo. Bill de Blasio should love Andrew Cuomo because he's the only person on earth who makes him look good. But he says, my first thoughts are with the women who are subject to this aberrant behavior and their bravery in stepping forward to share their stories. The Attorney General's detailed and thorough report substantiates many disturbing instances of severe misconduct. Andrew Cuomo committed sexual assault and sexual harassment and intimidated a whistleblower. It is disqualifying. It is beyond clear that Andrew Cuomo is not fit to hold office and can no longer serve as governor. He must resign, and if he continues to resist and attack the investigators who did their job, he should be impeached immediately. Look, Bill de Blasio is one of the worst public servants, quote unquote, in our politics, but he's completely right here. Eric Adams is the man who's coming in to replace him, the new mayor, incoming mayor of New York, and that's assuming, of course, he wins the election, but he's the Democratic nominee and the heavy favorite. He says Attorney General James conducted a thorough and revealing investigation that yielded disturbing conclusions about the conduct of Governor Cuomo. It is now the duty of the New York State Assembly to take swift and appropriate action and move forward with impeachment proceedings if the governor will not resign. Chuck Schumer and Kirsten Gillibrand have come out before and said he should resign. They issued another statement. They said, as we said before, the reported actions of the governor were profoundly disturbing, inappropriate, and completely unacceptable. Today's report from the New York State Attorney General substantiated and corroborated the allegations of the brave women who came forward to share their stories, and we commend the women for doing so. The New York State Attorney General has conducted an independent, thorough, and professional investigation that found the governor violated state federal law and had a pattern of sexually harassing current and former employees, retaliated against at least one of the accusers, and created a hostile work environment. No elected official is above the law. The people of New York deserve better leadership in the governor's office. We continue to believe that the governor should resign. This is one name you might not know, but it was an important one and a holdout from earlier episodes of the Andrew Cuomo must resign parade. Carl Heastie. He said, after our conference this afternoon to discuss the Attorney General's report concerning sexual harassment allegations against Governor Cuomo, it is abundantly clear to me that the governor has lost the confidence of the Assembly Democratic majority, and he can no longer remain in office. Once we receive all relevant documents and evidence from the Attorney General, we will move expeditiously and look to conclude our impeachment investigation as quickly as possible. That leaves you basically with prominent Democrats and the President of the United States. What are they going to say? First off, Nancy Pelosi. She releases a statement. Nancy Pelosi issued this statement after the conclusion of the investigation by the New York Attorney General into the allegations of sexual harassment by Governor Andrew Cuomo. Under Attorney General Letitia James, a comprehensive and independent investigation into the allegations against Andrew Cuomo have been completed. As always, I commend the women who came forward to speak their truth. Recognizing his love of New York and the respect for the office he holds, I call upon the governor to resign. And finally, we have the President of the United States. He's had his own little problems being handsy over the years, hasn't he? He was finally asked about this. Now, when he was asked about it before, he said, we have to wait for this report to come out so we know what happened. Well, the report has come out, and they followed up. They asked President Biden what he thought about the scandal.
Back in March, you said that if the investigation confirmed the allegations against Governor Cuomo, then he should resign. So will you now call on him to resign, given the investigators said the 11 women were credible?
I stand by that statement.
Are you now calling on him to resign?
Yes.
And if he doesn't resign, do you believe he should be impeached and removed from office?
Let's take one thing at a time here. I think he should resign. I understand that the state legislature may decide to impeach. I don't know that for a fact. I've not read all that data.
And he's using a photo of you embracing him in his self-defense to say that these are commonplace kind of embraces that he made and the allegations against him. Do you condone that?
Look, I'm not going to fly-spec this. I'm sure there are some embraces that were totally innocent. But apparently the Attorney General decided there were things that weren't.
There you go. There's really only one man now who can comment on this particular scandal, who can kind of address what should happen next. How much tolerance should we have for this type of behavior? Let me give you that comment. This is from a person who really has an interesting position in this entire scandal. His name is Andrew Cuomo. Here's what he tweeted in 2013. There should be a zero tolerance policy when it comes to sexual harassment, and we must send a clear message that this behavior is not tolerated. Time to send that message, everybody.